Hello, my name is Scott Holmes, and I'm the Executive Vice President at ABI. I want to take you through a white booth demonstration of the Arena Rascal Pro, the country's leading pull-behind arena drag that's changing the way ATV, UTV, and small tractor operators are maintaining their arenas. But before I get into the details and walk you through point by point of the Arena Rascal Pro, I want to assure you that our board members, our owners, and our engineers are pioneers in the equine industry. Their names are synonymous with soundness and with quality arena footing. And it's not just because they designed the world's leading line of arena drags with over 10,000 satisfied customers. But when you think of the World Championship shows, like the AQHA World Show and the NRHA Futurity and the NCHA Futurity, these names, Kaisers and ABI, are linked with the quality of these shows because they've trusted us for over 30 years to design their arenas and keep their horses and riders safe. The world of ATV and UTV arena drags is a dangerous place for you to spend your money because there are a lot of companies who just said, you know what? The ATV market's growing, we're going to make some kind of pull-behind tool that will smooth out the hoof prints and call it an arena drag. But with ABI, we have taken not only the knowledge and expertise of our owners and industry leaders, but we've taken the patented technology from the Kaiser Arena Drag and the TR3 Arena Rake, and we've applied that to the Arena Rascal Pro. So we are giving you a real, true arena drag that manages your arena footing to keep your horses sound. First, I'm going to give you a complete overview of the Arena Rascal Pro, and then we'll come back and we'll look at each individual component and give you in-depth detail on how these components work to make this tool work for you. First, the Arena Rascal Pro is a pull-behind ATV drag. So you have a drop pin hitch and a tongue, which allows you to hook up the Arena Rascal Pro to your ATV and pull it behind you. Secondly, you have stabilizing wheels. These are not little tiny rubber wheels or small little tiny wheels that don't have a real hub or axle. These are real flotation tires that support the entire weight of the Arena Rascal Pro to give you consistent depth. Then behind the stabilizing wheels, you have our patented profile blades, and we'll get into great detail about why we loosen from the bottom up and not from the top down. And the last component is the finish rake, which breaks up the clumps of material and leaves a signature finish behind. One of the unique things about our finish rake is that you can turn it parallel. You can crank it so it's straight up and down. This allows you to grab large amounts of material and knock down high spots and fill in low spots. The entire Arena Rascal Pro is controlled with either a standard crank jack, which raises and lowers the wheels, or as seen in this video, an electric actuator, which gives the operator complete control from the seat of his ATV. So let's look at each individual component that comes in contact with the ground. The very first one is really the heart and soul of any good arena drag, and that's the ability to stabilize. At ABI, we believe in stabilizing wheels, not a sled effect or rails, because once you've loosened your material, a sled or a rail will sink into that soft material and you no longer have consistency of depth. Consistency of depth is critical to training a horse or keeping a horse sound. When a horse travels through the arena and it has a ½ inch of loose material in one spot, with 3 inches of loose material in another spot, it's like taking a step off the end of the stairs and not knowing you have one more step to go. Your horse's muscles and joints are not prepared. You must have consistent depth in your footing, and stabilizing wheels are the only way to keep a consistent depth. You see, our wheels are not little tiny rubber wheels. They're full flotation wheels, and take a look at the width of these wheels. So once we've loosened on one pass, the second time you go over it, the tool is not going to sink into the soft material. It's going to float on top. I want you to notice that this is a real tire, and that if this tire goes bad, it's replaceable. Your whole tool hasn't gone down, like with many of the competitors. Our tires are on an axle. They have a hub. They have greasable bearings so that you can keep this tool maintained properly. And if the tire does go bad, it's easy to replace. And it's a real big boy tire, not a little rubber tire on a little tiny tool. Controlling these stabilizing wheels can be done one of two ways. The standard Arena Rascal Pro comes with a crank jack so that you can manually lower the wheels to raise the tool up or manually raise the wheels to lower the tool into the ground. I personally strongly recommend what you see here, which is our electric actuator. And this is not a wimpy little actuator. This actuator has a very large stroke, quick response time, can raise and lower the Arena Rascal Pro quickly, so you have a great response to your transport and stabilizing wheels. If you were to compare our electric actuator with those of our competitors, you will see a vast difference. And one of the big differences is that our actuator is designed to be used on the fly. As you are coming in and out of your arena, as you're wanting to adjust your depth, you're not having to sit still and raise and lower the actuator. Most of our competitors, in fact I would dare say all of our competitors' actuators, are extremely slow and with a very short stroke, just barely enough to get it off the ground so you can maybe make a turnaround. The ABI actuator is substantial, and it makes the other actuators in the market look puny in comparison. The next point of contact with the ground from the Arena Rascal Pro is one that I am very excited about. It's actually a patented technology that has taken the ABI tools to the next level. It's changed the way that the average person and the professional, a horse rider, maintains their arena footing, and we call it the profile technology. These profile blades are designed to settle into your footing and to sit at the depth, the desired depth that you want, whether that's a ½ an inch or 7 inches, and they will sit right on top of a hard base. They are base safe. What they do is they loosen from the bottom up instead of from the top down. Every arena drag on the market, except those from ABI, loosens the footing from the surface down. In order to loosen from the top down, it requires some form of scarifying or ripping tooth, and that comes in multiple designs, whether that be grooming rods, 1 row, 2 rows, 4 rows, however many grooming rods, it doesn't matter because the last row ends up leaving ridges and marks on the footing. You also have scarifiers or ripping teeth, great big shanks. You have S-tines. You have all kinds of shovels and rippers that are applied to arena drags throughout the world. They all loosen from the top down, and every single one of them makes the operator make multiple passes around the arena to try to get rid of ridges and to try to get rid of the humps and the grooves in the base of the footing. With the profile blades from ABI, which by the way is on every one of our arena drags, one pass loosens the entire profile of the soil, lifts it from the bottom, and conditions 100% of the footing with every single pass. Now these profile blades are adjustable to give you the exact depth that you want. If you're a dressage rider and you only want 1 1/4 inch, you can set the profile blades in the first hole, and by controlling the height and the pressure of your stabilizing wheels, you can get that exact depth of 1 1/4 inches. If you're a barrel racer and you want 7 or 8 inches, lower the profile blades to the bottom, raise the stabilizing wheels all the way up, and you can bury this profile blade and loosen 7, 8 inches at a time. What I'm trying to tell you is that you are in control of your depth, and with the stabilizing wheels and the electric or manual actuator or the manual crankjack and the multiple holes in the brackets of the profile blades, you can have complete control of your depth, and you can change your depth on the fly. One of the false statements in the industry today is that if you want to loosen the material of your arena, even if it's hard packed, you can do it with these little tiny teeth, and all you got to do is just tip the tool forward and you'll be more aggressive. Well, there's several problems, and the number one problem is that your frame, when you tip your tool forward, the frame's going to get in the way. Now you're plowing your footing and you're not grading it, you're digging holes is what you're doing. Secondly, that's a lot of wear and tear on a component of a drag that's just designed to loosen 1/2 an inch. And most of those ATV tools in the market today are designed to loosen 1/2 an inch. That's not enough footing to give you the cushion and shear strength that you need for your horse's footfall. You've got to be able to control your depth with an adjustable loosening mechanism and stabilizing wheels to keep that mechanism still. You'll notice that these profile blades lay flat and parallel to your ground. You can adjust this pitch with this gold top link here, and once you've got it set, you probably will not be adjusting it again. But this top link moves this tube and allows you to get the profile blades exactly parallel to your ground. That's the way you want them to come in. You don't want them too far forward, they'll end up pushing, and if you tip them too far back, they won't loosen and get down onto your base. You want these profile blades laying flat and parallel to the ground.